Hey there you, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about being spiritually awake. Yes, we're going to have a spiritual awakening. We're going to be able to recognize your identity as a spiritual being having a human experience. This reading is going to help enhance it and expand it and solidify it, because there's no reason to be walking around Earth not knowing who we really are as a spiritual being having the human experience. And it's not a big deal being spiritually awake. It's a very normal thing. When we make it normal with some normal words and some descriptions, it'll be simple and easy to recognize. Now the key here is to just be willing to believe it's possible that you could be a spiritual being having a human experience. I mean, really, there's a part of us, if you Google the word spirit, it'll say the non-material part of our makeup. The non-material part of our makeup. So, it's really easy to recognize your consciousness or your awareness as the part of you called a spirit. And we want to wake up more and more to looking at our personal life from that vantage point. And that's how simple it really is to be awake spiritually. Now look. The cards are going to help us to tell this story. They are going to come out in a way that is synchronistic, like there'll be coincidences with the cards. They'll relate to what I'm talking about, and then we'll bend them in with interpretation to support what we're talking about, to tell the story. We're going to make use of the information around us to build our inner space story that we've been talking about, and that's how it works. So you can see right away the card is confirming what we're talking about. It shows the consciousness in the background, and it shows all the little masks that we wear as a self. Now let's think about this for a second. One easy way to recognize your spiritual identity is to notice that it has been there since you were a little kid. It's always been in the background. We've always been like looking through our eyes, no matter what age we were, 8 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old. We've always been looking through our eyes from that space back here, that awareness space, that consciousness space. And we're just simply using that to call it the spirit. Just call that the spirit. It's super easy. Then you can easily recognize that you've been there all along. You've been spirit since you were first born into the world. And we've added masks, we've added data, we've added layers of ourself based on our likes and dislikes, right? Based on our different plays that we've been in, the drama of our life, little relationships we've had and little activities and details and storylines that have unfolded for each of us personally, uniquely. So know this, we want to be authentic. We want to get to that part of us that is authentic, that is never changing, that is always present. The source, the spirit, the consciousness, the Christ within. You hear that in the Bible. That's why dude said it's the Christ that's alive, not me. That guy Paul said it. He's like, it's the Christ that's alive, not me. And we can all see how simple this is. We change every day. What part of ourself is real? I'm already different before this reading. Look, now I'm a self that doesn't have the card in its hand. Change is constant. But look, the presence, that consciousness is still here. Watching, looking, talking through this body, this self. So we want to make sure that we recognize that authentic part of us. Spiritual awakening. Super easy. As you watch my videos on my channel, you will recognize your spiritual identity more and more. And it'll just get you more into that place where you don't have anything to really worry about because there's nothing there. There's nothing there to go against you. It is one God, one source, one spirit, one consciousness, one awareness. Think about it like this. Air. Think about air. Air is air, wherever you are. And that's the same way with awareness. Awareness is awareness. Even if it's just contained inside this guy's life named Brian or the life named you. Now look, the guidance card comes out because that's what we're talking about. Talking about giving guidance on how to recognize your spiritual identity. My whole channel is all about spiritual guidance. And it doesn't mean like Brian is anything special, but I am. Just like you are. We're all unique, special expressions that nobody else is in the world. We're We're all like that mixture of colors that no one else is exactly mixed that way based on our past experiences, our emotions, our decisions, our likes and dislikes. Beautiful, each one of us. Unique, valuable, each one of us. But again, I'm nobody special. I'm not like some kind of guru guide. Nobody thinks that, but I'm just saying it because we have those words in the world. All that I'm doing is describing. I'm describing. Scribe. I'm scribing. I'm describing by writing down my words or the ones that are given to me to share about this topic of being spiritually awake. And no one's going to say it exactly the way that I am. And that's good. And that way you can get another perspective on it. So that will help expand your overall perspective on what it means to be spiritually awake. It'll help you recognize it. Think about it. If 5 or 6 people talk about the same topic, then you can see it from several different angles and you get a better well-rounded view. And then you can pick and choose sort of like what fits or what you can use in the moment to help move you forward and upward to get your own inner guidance system going. And that's really where this goes next. See, when we're spiritually awake, we stop taking directions from the past or from other people. Instead, we mix what they're expressing in with our ultimate source of guidance. We look up, up, up to this light, to this never-ending, anything is possible place within. You can call it the third eye, you can call it your spiritual imagination, whatever it is. It's important to know that it is absolute good and that it's always present, and it's good to practice going up into it, intuition. Pay your tuition up there to find out what you see and what comes to you spontaneously, intuitively. Because that is really what it's like to live as a spiritual being, to live authentic. Let me go get that authenticity card. To live authentic in the moment, we have to balance what we already know with who we are in the present moment. And we want to make sure that we are bringing that down into the world. We are going up first, and then we'll come back down and bring that into the world. So let's take another card. So we know we're spiritually awake because we've always been a spirit. We know that awareness and consciousness are other words for spirit. You know that you have these things and it's been there since you were a little kid. Anytime that we are noticing our spiritual identity, we reinforce it because whatever we focus on expands. The shadow comes out. Why? Well, first thing we'll say about the shadow is it's just the black and white duality that comes down through us in the world. Ooh, 111. Boom. It comes down into the world as we create new things up here and then we let go and we let it flow like I'm doing right now in this video. Video's not planned. I have no idea what's going to come in, but I'm allowing it to flow. See, it's a movement. It's a flow. See, it's wings. It's a flow. Duality. It flies down and it lands in this black and white world, and then people or life picks it apart and turns it into two halves. It turns it into good or bad, right or wrong. Brian's right, Brian's wrong. Oh, that's a good spiritual awakening video. Oh, that's a bad spiritual awakening video. Whatever, none of that matters. What matters is that you are able to see your identity as a spiritual being bringing colorful and then black and white things into the world. It's a shadow of our light. It's a shadow of our light. We go up to the light, we get the inspired ideas, and then we let them come down and they live in the world. And people consume them. People come across them and they make use of them like you are with this video. So, I don't know. People say like, well, Brian, don't you have anything to worry about? And I'm like, worry? Okay. Like, why would I want to invest in worry? I mean, if something worryable comes up, I will look at it and go within and get some guidance on it. But, like, why would I just conjure up worries? The healer comes out. Okay. So I am loving and compassionate and able to bring healing to others. Now look, healing can simply mean renewal, a renewing mindset. Or healing can simply mean getting out of one's identity as a self and getting into their authentic, true identity as a spiritual being having a human experience, like she's doing here. She found that white light crystal that glows within her. She is the one that's bringing the white light down into the world. And there you can see her doing that here. Now, she's got the green heart chakra all around and on her. That's a symbol for, green is a symbol for being spiritually awake, being a spirit at the heart of everything, and then coming into the world. Coming into the world. And you can see that that's her right here. There's the green, and here she is green, bringing her white light into the world. So you can also see that she is aligned with a spirit animal. Well, what can we say about that? Well, the first thing I want to point out is there's the number 8. And when you put that on its side, it's infinity. And I want you to know that because the things that we can imagine and feel up here are infinity. And we want to make sure that we always know that anything good is possible. That's going to be a great starting point. But what's happening here with this spirit animal is simply that she is learning to incorporate the things around her as helpers. As helpers. It's just like I might look at the spirit animal of my past relationship with someone and I might use that as a helper. Or I might, just like she's looking at a bear, something that's ferocious that normally would eat her up, you know? She's looking at it as a helper. Taming the beast of duality. And that's what we see here, the shadow. Taming this duality of normally of good versus bad, and we're turning it into this butterfly of gray and white winged beauty. Because everything that we are bringing into the world was first born up here in our heaven, our little inspiration space, our white light crystal space, see it? And then we brought it down into the world. So things aren't really good and bad so much. Obviously they are. You don't do bad things, do good things, you know, there's certain laws. But this beautiful duality butterfly is really fluttering around, and we are learning how to colorize it. How to colorize it, meaning how to bring in the absolute good of it, like she did with the bear. So the bear's not all going to eat her up. The bear is still going to be her friend and be her helper and be the one that follows her direction. She's giving the direction to the bear. And that's good news. So let's pull one more card. This reading doesn't have to have a specific logic to it. You know this. We're not going to do it every way we've always done it, or else it'll be exactly what it was. It is renewing. It is allowing it to just come through. And let's see what this last card's going to be on our way out of this reading. Oh, just trust. Yes. Trust in the truth of who you are. And she's looking at the mirror to see that. Trust the truth of who you are. Look in the mirror, see that blue reflection of that bright light star that you are. Take care, friends. That's the end of this Spiritual Awakening reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments. Subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow.